What's up, everyone? This is Kyle Fisk at Boho Hobo, and it's March 16th today, 6:30 p.m., and I'm going to document my mission. I think about this a lot, what my purpose is on this world, what exactly am I doing with my life, what I'm directing all of my energy towards, and today I had a breakthrough. I finally came to a realization, maybe like a 90% realization of what exactly I was supposed to be doing with my life. And the reason why I say 90% is I don't think we're always 100% sure about anything. A lot of intuition is not fact-based. It's more of a feeling where basically when I come to these realizations, a lot of it has to do with I take in a lot of different information, and my brain is able to analyze it all and make sense of it, and then it picks and chooses like the most important things, and then you start to see themes and like crossover and like how all of this is aligning, and then you try to orient yourself within all of that information to then like find a direction. It's like a light that's in the tunnel, like you see it and it glows and it's like, oh, that's it, that's where I'm supposed to be going. But again, like the more and more information you take in, the narrower and narrower that tunnel becomes, and then it starts to specify exactly what you're supposed to be doing in your life. And also maybe another tunnel starts to shine through and you take a total different direction. So I just want to like preface where my mind is, where my headspace is, so like you get some sort of context as to like why I constantly like consuming more and more information to try to like make sense of all this. What is it? What is my life all about? Like, what am I supposed to be doing, you know? And like the more and more information that I consume, the more and more I like just gravitate towards certain types of interests and skills, the more I start to realize like where I'm supposed to be, what am I supposed to be doing. And a lot of it is telling me that I need to be right now focusing more on things like yoga, health and wellness. Like I'm a nurse and I gravitate towards more alternative therapies, so maybe becoming a holistic nurse. So that's one of this. In the multiple dynamics of like my sense of self-concept, like there's multiple different categories of it. So one of it being like holistic nursing, things like acupuncture, holism, naturopathy, yoga, for instance. And then another dynamic that I'm constantly spending time on is the future of like where we're headed towards. So that like brings out the visionary in me, the philosopher. I study social science all the time and like trying to understand like future tech and like the stock market, trying to predict like where the economy is headed towards. So it's very like big picture thinking, seeing things from a broad lens. Like I don't like getting super detail oriented. I'd rather learn a lot of different things and be bouncing around to see the connections and like alignment between it all, instead of like focusing in and specializing in one thing. And that like plays to the strength of like why I like holistic nursing too. It's like big picture approach and then trying to make sense of it all, like trying to see the connections between them. And then the next thing would probably be, so we got like social science, big picture thinking, holistic nursing, also big picture thinking. And then the next category would probably be like outdoor adventure. Like me personally, every day I go and rock climb, and I really value health and wellness. And that kind of plays on the whole holistic thing. And then you interconnect that to like rock climbing, and it's like calisthenics. Like I've always been drawn to that for some reason. Like I love the motion of my body, to be able to like go and gain this like physicality, this strength, and have it come from within, not trying to like go and lift a lot of weights and stuff. Like being able to master my own body, my own physique, that's really appealing to me. So we got rock climbing, outdoor adventure, hiking, getting out in nature, like really understanding the world through this like exercise of going up a mountain, climbing rocks, like really getting into the nitty-gritty of things. And it brings me back to like my values of sustainability and why I think that's so important as us as a humanity. Like, look at nature. Nature is sustainable. Nature has this cycle. It has the yin and yang. It has this balance of life in it. And I think that living in a materialistic, capitalistic society, it draws us away from the sustainable, from nature, from how humans naturally should be in our environment. And that is very appealing. Sustainability, that I think is the future. We need, as a society, as a humanity, try to model our economics, our political values, our society, how it functions, as close, if not exactly the same, as how nature functions in terms of like being sustainable, by not over consuming, by allowing this utility of how our machine works to be less overusing in our resources, to be able to be egalitarian, to distribute all of our resources equally. Like, yeah, I mean, there's the hierarchy of the life cycle where like the predators are at the top and the prey is on the bottom. And like, I think there's this distribution, but at the end of the day, the grass on the bottom of the hierarchy isn't like getting thrown off and getting abused and impoverished and like getting all of the nasty side effects of that hierarchy. No, and that's what's happening in our society, this capitalism. And granted, there are a lot of benefits. There's a lot of good reasons why we should have capitalism. I'm not knocking that. I'm looking more progressive. Like, where are we going as a humanity in the future? Like, how is all of this future tech and our advancements in technology, how is that going to set our humanity up to be the best that it can be for the people in it? Because at the end of the day, that's what it should be appealing to humanity itself. And sustainability, that's where it's at. And I think we're headed towards a next generation where our future technology is going to provide us with the ability to have sustainability in our resources. We're going to have huge rapid demonetization where things are going to get cheaper and cheaper as technology exponentially advances. And as technology exponentially advances, it's going to allow us to have an more equal distribution of our goods and resources. And we're going to have things like automation come out, and it's going to allow artificial intelligence to take over a lot of our jobs, which at first might sound very, very very concerning, but what if we can get to a place in automation where it's doing the machine, the capitalistic machine, to create resources all automated on its own, so it lets us detach from the system itself, so we don't have to work as much to just keep the system going. We're able as a humanity to focus on human things, which is the interconnection of relationships, of pursuing self-actualization, of honing in on our skills and talents to like become our best selves, to actually be compassionate and caring towards one another, and not be like bogged down by the workload of the 9 to 5, to just work at this factory job that just carries out the machine even more. Like, not knocking the machine, not knocking the person who goes out to the factories and like carries out the work. I agree, that is so important to keep our system running. Capitalism has its benefits. It allows us to progress as a society, to push technology and advancements towards a higher, greater degree of functionality. But why does it have to be people that do that? Why can't it be the machine itself? The machine is in automation and artificial intelligence. We as a humanity, as a society, can become this higher sense of society where we have the machine, artificial intelligence, automation running all of the day-to-day factory machine resources, creation of products, goods, that can all be automated while we detach from it. And then again, like I said, do humanly things like community events, like interacting with one another. Like, at that point, we all will have universal well-being if the machine in and of itself, if the automation can get to a point where it can create and distribute equally to the universal, all of us on the planet equally can meet those basic needs, then that allows us to do whatever we want as a human. We don't have to work the 9-to-5 job anymore. We're free. We're free to be humans. God, that's so amazing. Like, geez, like that is where we're headed to as a society. That is where we're going, and it's going to be crazy. We're on a ride, man, and people don't understand. This is happening on the back end of things, like hidden away, like fucking Harry Potter shit, where like they're doing magic and like shit's hitting the fan and no one even sees it. No, the muggles, they don't even realize how great it's gonna be. But we're headed towards there, and that is my mission, to spread the message of like optimism of what humanity could be. Like, we're all in despair, we're all suffering right now. We could move to a place with the help of technology, if it doesn't kill us, if it doesn't take over our humanity, if it doesn't master control everything that we do. There's a possibility that could happen. But if we program it in a way where, like I said, towards sustainability, to provide us with the outlet to gain self-fulfillment as a humanity, if we program technology in that way, if we all direct our energy to creating that world, then we have greater safety. We have a bigger safety net to prevent that dystopia, that maniacal force of the possibility of technology to reign supreme over us. And instead we merge and we create the symbiosis between humanity and machine to live our greatest lives. And that is the message. That is the goal. That is where I think we're headed towards as a society. Thank you for listening. Kyle Fisk. That's my mission statement. We're headed there. Hope you all have a great day. Peace and love to all.